Welcome everyone. My name is Abdul Ghani, and today we are having a very special guest with us, Amitesh Rathi. His exceptional performance in the UPSC Civil Services examination has inspired many aspiring civil servants. We are here to know about his preparation strategies, challenges faced by him, and also lessons learned along the way. So, without further delay, let's dive into this insightful conversation with him. Welcome, Amitesh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the kind words.
First of all, heartiest congratulations for your success in the examination this year.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My first question to you is, what motivated you to choose the civil services as a career path?
Sir, I drew my primary motivation from my mother, who is a professor at a government-run college. When over the course of her career, she realized that the bureaucrats who formulate the policy, who take such key decisions, played a really important role in deciding how the future of this country through education forms. Sir, from there, I was very much inspired to become a good bureaucrat, to change the policy so that the future of our nation is in better hands. Further, sir, the diversity which is offered by the civil services, the wide spectrum of things that civil servants work upon, is something that drove me towards civil services.
Okay, great answer. My next question is that consistency is very much important for this examination. So you have to be consistent from day one till the date of the examination. So did you face any challenges in maintaining the consistency and discipline throughout your UPSC preparation?
Yes, sir. I think it's very human to have these lapses in consistency. Often, when we think about UPSC preparation, we think that we need to work hard every single day. We need to study every single day. We need to utilize every single hour. But I think that is a very mechanical approach to any exam. We are humans. We are bound to fail. We are bound to have minor setbacks. And it is okay. I mean, even so, I have been preparing full time for UPSC since for this exam since January of 2021. Over the course of around 28, 29 months, there were a lot of moments in which there were lapses in my consistency. I took a lot of breaks. I went out to see my friends. I watched movies. I talked to my parents. So there were a lot of breaks that I took. But at the end of the day, what needs to be ensured is that we remain true to ourselves. We remain true to the targets we set. The targets should be realistic and they should not be ideal. They should not be very high. Because if we set very high targets, when we fail them, we are bound to feel resentful. So setting realistic targets and maintaining consistency according to the targets we set and not according to the hours we put in is something that I think played a very crucial role in the rank that I got.
Okay, good. One more thing I just want to ask you that regarding the vastness of the syllabus, a aspirant have to retain a lot of information, and to retain this information, they required multiple time of revision. So, what was your approach to revision, and how did you revise the vast syllabus effectively, especially during the last few months leading to the UPSC examination?
Sir, I think every phase of the examination requires a different revision strategy. In specifically for prelims, what I followed was, even though the syllabus is vast, there are a few crucial areas which need to be focused upon. Say, for example, in prelims, we have the core subjects such as polity, economy, environment, and modern history, where a majority chunk of the questions come from. So our focus should be towards ensuring that we cover these majority chunks first, and accordingly, we put less focus on whatever time is left on smaller topics such as art and culture, ancient history, medieval history. But my revision strategy leading up to prelims was my first cycle. Before prelims, my preparation of prelims used to start 2 months before the prelims exam. 1 month, roughly 20 odd days is something that I kept for covering the first round of syllabus. Every subject I gave around 2 days, and I completed the syllabus in around 20 days. The next revision cycle was around of 15 days, then of 7 days, then 777. Whatever number of cycles, we need to gradually reduce the time. Personally, for me, I felt that the more number of iterations that I do of the reading, of the revision, I felt like I could retain more. However, I think that this is a very personal choice. A lot of people put in a lot of time in one revision cycle. The one revision cycle could span over a month, but what they ensure is you you learn everything by heart, you memorize everything there is to memorize, and then you can gradually reduce the time. So basis the individual um,
Oh,
basis the individual, I think the number of iterations, the number of revision cycles need to be decided.
okay. And what about the static information, the data or dates or the name? How can a student could retain that information?
Sir, I think uh, there is no easy way to go around memorizing this data. The requirement of the exam is such that certain things need to be memorized, certain things need to be rote learned. It's just the way the exam is. I think for me, sometimes I used to write, I used to think a lot of times when I was walking, when I was taking a break, even when I was taking a bath. I used to constantly think of whatever I had read. I used to try to actively recall whatever I had studied, and then maybe I would talk to my mother and then explain to her what I had learned. So I think reading and then trying to actively recall it plays a very important role in ensuring that we remember these key pieces of information.
Good, good. Can you also throw light on the preliminary exam strategies? Because recently we have seen that UPC have completely changed the manner they used to ask the question. And what are your suggestions for the upcoming experience? How they prepare for the prelims?
Yes, sir. So I think given how unpredictable the prelims stage of the exam has become, I think the strategy should focus upon the basics. As I mentioned before, polity, economics, environment, these are the crucial areas where there are bound to come a few questions. There are bound to be around 10, 15, or 20 questions from these topics. And you should be very thorough with whatever readings there are. One should have everything on their tips, and for the rest of them, I think a cursory glance on current affairs, reading the explained section of the Indian Express. I think that also has become fairly important given how the trend of the examination has changed. But other than that, I think using practicing a lot of mocks, uh, it gives you the ability of handling unexpected questions. Practicing a lot of mocks from different coaching institutions, sampling question papers from every coaching institution that is available, and just giving them and seeing how one reacts to questions which are not expected, which are not traditional. I think other than that, there is not there is only limited time and there is limited mental capacity, and one should just focus upon these, and I think it would help them sail through the training stage.
Finally, looking back at your UPSC journey, is there anything you would have done differently? Are there any specific lessons or insight you can that you would like to share with other aspirants?
Yes. So in the initial 6 months or 5, 6 months of my preparation, I did not look at any previous year questions. And even when I used to read content, even when I used to read current affairs booklets, I just simply used to read line by line, line by line. I just used to read. And I think that is a very big mistake that a lot of candidates make. Uh, they waste their time mindlessly reading through content. What one needs to do is one needs to not do hard work, but do smart work. One needs to ensure that their focus is very directed. They should understand the demands of the exam first. PYQs of prelims, mains, or even at interview stage need to be kept in mind at every at every second, I would say. One should even remember, if I say one keyword of any question from the prelims PYQ, one should remember what the exact question was. That is the amount of recollection that one should have of PYQs. PYQs have played a very crucial role in prelims. They have played a very crucial role in mains. So reading them right from the beginning, while you're reading your content, while you're reading any study material, needs to be kept in mind. And instead of mindlessly going through pages and pages of content, one needs to adopt a very focused approach towards what is necessary and what is desirable towards the exam.
Okay, good. Last question to you, right? How did you stay motivated during the long and the demanding journey? Because the preparation is almost like 1 year and another year for the examination. So how did you maintain your motivation during this journey?
So personally, for me, the motivation came from my parents. Seeing them seeing them working hard towards ensuring that I have everything that I need during the preparation, and was kept me working hard and kept me motivated. So secondly, I looked at my other options. I have worked for around 1.5 year at a private fintech consulting firm. um, Looking back at the kind of lifestyle I had over there, and looking at the kind of lifestyle that my colleagues still have, it also kept me motivated towards getting into the civil services. Because often we realize while we're working in the private sector that our focus is very limited towards only one sector, towards the job we are at. Whereas civil services, or even this exam for that matter, opens our mind to different experiences, to the things that are happening across the world, and of course across the country. And I think this motivation, that I wanted a different lifestyle and I did not want that to be my life for the next whatever time I have left, is what kept me motivated throughout this whole journey.
Okay, great answer, Amitesh. So with this, I think we can conclude the session. Thank you, Amitesh, for joining us. And thank you, everyone, for listening to KSG Carnival. Stay tuned with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Take
sir.
care.
Thank you.